I am trying to finish this before the end of the period. I think the class ends in about 10 minutes, then my free time ends. So I might go a little bit quickly with this, but most of the skills are based on prior skills. So let's watch and see as we go along. 2x squared minus 5x equals 0. This is all factoring. If you can factor, this is easy. Look, these share an x in common. What do you do before you cross the road? Look for a common factor. So now some people forgot this part. Maybe it's the guy on the left, x equals 0. Maybe it's the guy on the right. Now some people, by the way, for the answers over here, this was what they put in the answer space. They put x times 2x minus 5. That is the answer to the directions to factor. These directions do not say to factor. These directions say to solve. Solve means x equals, or the variable equals. In this case, x is equal to 0, and then here, add 5, 2x equals 5, divide by 2, x equals 5 halves. So 0 and 5 halves are the answers to the first one. Next up, this is a straightforward trinomial factoring. If you had difficulty with that, go back to the first video in the series. This is c minus 9 times c plus 2 equals 0. Again, I'm in a bit of a rush, so I really can't go through the confirmation of that, but in the first section it goes through that many, many times, so you should be able to do it. Maybe it's the guy on the left, c minus 9, maybe it's the guy on the right. C equals 9, minus 2, c equals negative 2. So the answers are 9 and negative 2. Again, some people put this down as the answer. That is the answer to a different question. That is the answer to factor, not solve. Number 16. Always have to get everything on one side when we solve by factoring with a quadratic. So I get n squared plus 3n minus 10 equals 0. Factoring it, I get n plus 5 times n minus 2 is 0. Maybe it's the guy on the left. Maybe it's the guy on the right. Minus 5, n equals 5, add 2, n equals 2. So in this case, n is going to equal negative 5, and over here n is going to equal positive 2. Last but not least, likewise we got to get it all on one side here, minus 20, and I'm going to get 3x squared minus 11x minus 20 equals 0. There is nothing they share in common here, so I got to go to plan B. And I'm going to try to fit this around the open space, x squared minus 11x minus 60. Which if I factor that, now this is a great opportunity because most kids don't have the factors of 60 in their head. But remember, we said you can use your graphing calculator. And what you do is you go to y equals, and then just type in negative 60 divided by x. And then you go to table. And when you look at the table, you look for whole numbers. If there's decimals, disregard them. And eventually you'll find a pair. That's how you multiply it to negative 60. You'll find a pair that adds to negative 11. That pair is negative 15 and positive 4. But since I multiplied by 3 there, I have to divide by 3 back in here. So I get x minus 5 equals 0, and x, I got to bring the 3 up here. 3x plus 4 equals 0. Adding 5 to both sides, x equals 5. Subtracting 4, 3x equals negative 4, divided by 3, x equals negative 4/3. So I get positive 5 and negative 4/3. Okay, so that is this section. I believe there is one more section to go with the word problems, and I will get into that right now.